Muy buenas a todos, estamos aquí con sOAZ, que acaba de ganar su primera partida del Mundial. First of all, Paul, thank you for being here. How does it feel smashing NA in the first game of Worlds?
I think the main thing about it is that it gives us confidence for the next games. So the first game I feel like is always way more important than the others to exactly give this confidence to the team, so we can maintain a good atmosphere and just prep as hard for the next ones. So yeah, hopefully the next games. I think the next games are gonna be a lot harder, but hopefully we keep up the momentum of having this good atmosphere and everything, and we just keep on winning.
And speaking of confidence, you just tweet that you were talking a lot. And you are one of the most veteran players, of course. Were you still a bit nervous after so much time?
I actually felt like I felt a lot less nervous than, for example, playoffs final or some playoffs games. Sometimes you just wake up and you're not feeling. You're not nervous from when you wake up, of course, like before the game starts. But I felt a lot less nervous than some games that I remember from this year. Actually, I had a pretty good feeling. Yeah, we just have a good atmosphere right now, so I think it helps me and probably some of our players as well to just feel more confidence for the match days.
Right now, Invictus Gaming is playing against G-Rex, and you're going to play against them tomorrow. And I remember reading some tweets from Case, your analyst, saying that you didn't want to play against Invictus Gaming because your style didn't match really well against them, but they have some flaws. How do you see the matchup developing tomorrow?
Well, obviously, I think it's just like a completely different style of what we usually do. They are just probably gonna be playing towards the top, probably gonna play non-tanks and just gonna look to eventually counter pick, top lane, or just try to play on that to win the game for them. As for us, we tend to play more towards mid/bot, so it's just like a different style, and I see that. For example, we like to team fight a lot whenever we think it's good for us, and I assume they're going to do the same thing for them. They are probably going to be a lot less scared than what 100 Thieves were doing today, so there's probably going to be a lot more action, and I think picks and bans are going to have a big impact on the games against IG.
They have quite a similar dynamic between top laners because, of course, you have a team dynamic with Wipo and they have Duke and Desai. Are you afraid of any of them? Do you see any main difference between them in terms of playstyle?
I didn't really watch replays of both of their top laners or anything like that. We just usually talk about it. Our analysts are gonna prep some reviews and everything like this, and then they're gonna give us the feedback that we need about them. So right now I cannot really say much about it, but once we prep for the game, then I will know a lot more about it. So I don't know about the defense. We'll just see, I guess.
It's okay. There were some leaks from the scrims, and I know they are not very reliable, but overall you're seeing as Fnatic as the main hope for the West. Does that put any extra pressure on your shoulders coming to this tournament, or do you handle it just fine?
I think it for sure put a bit more pressure when people think that you're a good contender to play good at Worlds. I think as long as you play good in scrims and your team atmosphere is good, then it doesn't matter that much, right? But if we rely too much on that, then it might have a bit of impact on everything. But it's actually funny because when there's the league sort of, I think we are not like, I think it was the first week of scrims that we had, and it wasn't like necessarily true. I think we are going a lot 50-50 against most of the teams, besides some of them of course, but against the good teams I think it was probably like 40-60 for them or 50-50, and I feel like we are actually doing a lot better now. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, they don't hype us even more or anything like this. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel, I was saying before, I don't think there's like a clear winner of this Worlds. I think it was the same last year. There's not, I don't think last year there's like a clear winner. And I have the same feeling after playing all the teams this year. There's not a clear winner. Like, I think there's a lot of teams that are playing really good. RNG, Flash Walls.
Yeah.
So we will see who can actually make it, but I can see there's 4 or 5 really good teams, and I think one of them is probably gonna win it.
Yeah, hopefully we have like an open tournament because it's obviously more interesting. Lastly, what are your personal goals for this tournament? Because of course you played the semi-finals on 2013, you played the finals on the Riot Games Season 1 Championship. So yeah, what are your goals personally for this tournament?
I mean, goal is to make a deeper run than I did ever before. I mean, I'm not really counting Season 1, like where I made the final and was to Fnatic and stuff. But I would like to play the final, you know, like have this pre-game like a ceremony, you know, like be on the big stage during the final, everyone watching you, play your best of 5. Like, there's always like really big venues and it's really hype. Even though sometimes, like for example, when I was not playing Worlds, I was not watching all the games, but I at least watched the final. And I think it's the same for everyone. Sometimes you miss a few games here and there, but everyone is gonna watch the final. So I think playing the final will be super hype, and it will be really epic to win it. So I would like to play the final, and obviously the cherry on top will be actually winning it. But of course we are thinking game per game, and we'll see where we actually end up, whether, you know, where we can, as far as we can go. Yeah.
Hopefully this time you don't have to do it at Lolly Sport to be on the opening ceremony, but of course, thank you so much for giving us the interview and good luck on the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Eso sería todo con sOAZ. El resto de la cobertura la podéis seguir en esportmaniacos.com y por supuesto en el canal de YouTube de Esportmaniacos.